makinig muna tayo, konting situation report tungkol nga sa mga nangyari dahil sa lindol. Ang unahin siguro na we need to go down the different agencies para malaman kung ano bang mga needs, ano ba ang naging effect ng lindol doon sa area ninyo. So we will start with Gov. Pacquiao for his report on the effects of the 7.8 earthquake dito sa Sarangani. So go, bro. Sige. Ito yung sa...
Honorable President, I will be presenting to you a comprehensive impact report of the magnitude 7.8 earthquake that struck Sarangani province on June 8, 2026, 7:30 in the morning, 7:37. As of June 14, 6 p.m., the earthquake has tragically claimed 33 lives, primarily caused by landslides, drowning, and covered by falling debris. The municipality of Glan, the hardest hit town, had the highest toll of 24 fatalities, while the other 9 is from municipality of Malapatan. Additionally, 251 individuals were injured, with injuries ranging from minor abrasions to major traumatic injuries, mainly admitted to our provincial hospitals. There are still 15 missing individuals, but active search, rescue, and retrieval operations are underway, specifically in Glan and Malapatan. With regards to population displacement, a total of 57,843 families were affected across all 7 municipalities, with 428 families currently staying in evacuation centers. On the housing front, 23,419 homes were impacted. 17,854 are partially damaged, and 5,565 are completely destroyed, where Glan suffering the most damage with 3,808 houses and Malapatan with 1,508. Mr. President, recognizing the magnitude of the disaster and its impact on our communities, the province of Sarangani declared a state of calamity on June 10, 2 days after the earthquake. This allowed us to swiftly mobilize resources, utilize emergency response mechanisms, and intensify relief, rescue, and recovery efforts for thousands of affected families across the province. Allow me to present the current status of infrastructure damage in Sarangani province, particularly in our structures, including schools, government offices, places of worship, health facilities, community structures, and other establishments across the province. As of June 14, 6 p.m., our ongoing assessments have recorded 94 schools totally damaged, 110 schools with major damages, and 196 schools with minor damages. These damages have disrupted learning activities and will require immediate rehabilitation to ensure the safe return of our teachers and learners. Beyond the education sector, the earthquake also caused substantial damage to public and community facilities that serve as the backbone of local governance and public service delivery. We have documented a total of 251 damaged public and community facilities across the province. This includes 114 municipal and public buildings such as barangay halls, public markets, and government service centers. Of these, 85 sustained partial damage, while 29 facilities were totally destroyed. Our places of worship were likewise affected, with 48 churches and mosques damaged, including 43 partially damaged and 5 that suffered total collapse. In the health and social welfare sector, 38 healthcare and childcare facilities sustained damage, consisting
of 27 daycare centers and 11 health centers. These facilities play a crucial role in providing basic health care and child development services, particularly in far-flung communities. Economic and utility-related infrastructure also suffered losses. We recorded 33 damaged utilities, resorts, and private commercial establishments, including water facilities, hospitals, and small businesses that support local livelihoods and essential services. Also, 18 gymnasiums and community stages were damaged, including 4 that were totally destroyed. Mr. President, these figures demonstrate that the impact of the earthquake extends far beyond residential damage. The rehabilitation of these facilities is vital not only to recover, but also for the restoration of education, healthcare, governance, commerce, and community life across the province. We respectfully seek the continued support of the national government in accelerating reconstruction efforts so that the affected communities can recover and rebuild stronger from this disaster. Allow me to present the current status of infrastructure damage. National and provincial transportation networks. At the national level, we recorded 17 damaged road section, along with 4 totally damaged bridges and 5 additional bridges that sustained partial structural damage. At the provincial level, the impact has been more extensive. Around 3.9 kilometers, comprising 7 provincial roads were affected, largely due to landslides, rockfalls, and ground movement. 3 of these remain unpassable, but clearing operations are ongoing. The Sapumasla Bridge was declared totally damaged, while 11 other provincial and local bridges remain passable but have sustained varying degrees of structural distress. Despite these challenges, I am pleased to report that through the coordinated efforts of our local government units, national agencies, responders, and volunteers, 16 municipal and barangay road sections remain open and passable. Critical access routes in Malungon and Alabel have been cleared, allowing the continued delivery of relief goods, medical assistance, and essential services to affected communities. Mr. President, the 381 million damage estimate and 734 million recovery requirement cover only the initial DPWH assessment of national roads and bridges. They do not yet include damages to homes, schools, hospitals, government facilities, and other critical infrastructures across Sarangani. The true cost of this disaster is significantly higher, and the scale of devastation requires substantial national government support. Mr. President, while emergency access has been restored in many areas, the destruction of key roads and bridges continues to affect mobility, economic activity, and the delivery of government services, particularly in remote communities. With this, we respectfully seek national government support for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of damaged roads and bridges, slope stabilization projects, and additional funding for resilient infrastructure recovery. Mr. President, Sarangani has always been a resilient province, but this earthquake has tested our people in ways we have never experienced before. We have lost lives, homes, schools, and facilities that our communities depend on every day. Yet, amid the devastation, we have also witnessed the strength of the Filipino spirit, the willingness of our people to help one another and rise together. Today, I come not only to present these numbers and statistics, but to convey the hopes of thousands of Sarangan families who are looking to rebuild their lives. On behalf of Sarangani, I humbly ask for your continued support as we recover from this tragedy. With the national government's help and your leadership, I am confident that Sarangani will not only recover, but rise again, stronger than before. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Gob. All right, we take note of all of the damages that you have reported. Marami rito ang medyo na silip na, na inspection na. At we will continue to do that. The one, yung isa na inuuna natin, siyempre, inuna natin itong Sapu Masla Bridge because hindi kami makapasok sa Glan hanggang hanggang nakapaglagay tayo ng section. Kahit na limited pa lang ang traffic, at least nakapunta nung pinuntahan namin, nung pinuntahan natin kanina, marami nang nakarating na assistance. But we have to go back to all of these other bridges at saka yung mga tulay at saka yung mga kalsada na nasira. Pati ang school building, nagulat ako, napakarami na school room ang nasira. We have an approximately 617 totally damaged classroom. Ibig sabihin, hindi na magamit. We'll have to gigibain natin bago tayo magtatayo na naman ng panibago. So, malaking trabaho pa natin. Marami pa tayong gagawin. But in the meantime, yung ating mga nabiktima, yung mga displaced persons, ay maayos naman ang kanilang kalagayan sa ngayon. So now, can we hear from Mayor Lorelai of the Gensan sa report mo? Mayor.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat, lalong-lalo na po sa ating Presidenting. Mr. President, nais ko pong ihain ang pinakahuling ulat ukol sa epekto ng malakas na lindol sa lungsod ng General Santos. Ang mga datos na aking ilalahad ay batay sa pinakahuling beripikadong tala at assessment na nakalakap ng ating mga response at monitoring teams. Batay sa
Ito ba yan? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Batay sa pinakahuling datos hanggang alas 8 ng umagang nitong Lunes, June 15, nakapagtala ang lungsod ng 26,013 apektadong kabahayan na binubuo ng kabuang 73,718 individual. Sa bilang na ito, 23,009 kabahayan ang bahagyang nasira, habang 3,004 naman ang tuluyang nawasak. Bilang tugon sa agarang pangangailangan ng ating mga mamamayan, nakapagpamigay na rin tayo ng food packs sa mga apektadong pamilya, 110,664 sa tulong po ng ating DSWD na pinangunahan po ni Secretary Rex Gatchalian. Maraming salamat po. Sa usapin naman ng mga nasawi at nasugatan, may naitalang 22 na nasawi at isang individual na nanatiling nawawala. Sa kasalukuyan, hindi pa rin siya ma-recover dahil nananatiling delikado at hindi pa maaaring pasukin ang lugar kung saan siya huling namataan. Naitala rin ang 67 sugatan sa kinailangang ma-admit sa mga ospital at 439 naman ang nabigyan ng agarang lunas, ngunit hindi na kinakailangang ma-ospital. Patuloy rin ang pagsusuri sa mga pampubliko at pribadong infrastruktura sa lungsod. Ang mga bilang at kalagayang aking ilalahad ay sumasalamin sa pinakahuling resulta ng mga isinagawang inspeksyon at maaari pang magbago habang nagpapatuloy ang mas detalyadong assessment ng ating mga eksperto at engineering teams. Kung makikita po natin sa mga larawang ito, Mr. President, ilan lamang po ito sa mga lugar na nagtamo ng matitinding pinsala dulot ng lindol sa lungsod ng General Santos. Kabilang dito ang ating City Hall at Sangguniang Panlungsod Building na parihong mahalagang gusaling pampamahalaan na naapektuhan ng malakas na panyanig. Ang mga pinsalang ito ay nakaapekto sa operasyon ng mga tanggapan at sa paghahatid ng serbisyo publiko sa ating mamamayan. Makikita rin ito ng City Public Market, almost 2,000 vendors, City Public Terminal at mga investment building. Ang investment building ay isa sa mga pangunahing pasilidad na dinarayo ng mga mamuhunan at iba pang bisita sa lungsod. Makikita rin sa mga larawan ang ilan sa mga pangunahing kalsada ng General Santos City na nagtamo ng mga bitap at iba pang pinsala na nangangailangan ng agarang rehabilitasyon. Dito naman po, Mr. President, makikita ang pinsalang natamo ng SM City General Santos at KCC Mall of Jensan. Batay sa isinagawang pagsusuri, kapwa nagtamo ng malalaking pinsala ang dalawang establishmento ang tinatayag aabutin pa ng humigit kumulang 3 buwan bago sila muling makapagbukas at makapag-operate ng normal. Nasa 15,000 employees po ang umaasa dyan, Mr. President. Makikita po rin ang iba pang mga pribadong establishmento gaya ng Gobilio, Unimart, Sibmore, Kalumpang, McDonald's, Lagaw at MGM na nagtamo rin ng malaking pinsala. Ang Chicken House naman ay kabilang sa mga establishmentong lubhang naapektuhan dahil sa lawak ng pinsalang natamo nito dahil sa kasulukuyang kondisyon ng gusali. Hindi na ito maaring gamitin hanggang sa may sagawa ang mga kinakailangang pangkukumpuni at masusing pagsusuri. 500 employees din, Mr. President, ang apektado dyan. Sa larawang ito naman, makikita po natin ang Jollibee Pindaton Plaza, isa sa pinakamatinding na apektuhan ng lindol. Dahil sa lakas ng pagyanid, tuluyang gumuho ang malaking bahagi ng gusali na nagdulot ng malaking panganib at pinsala sa lugar. Dito naman po makikita ang mga institusyong pang-edukasyon gaya ng NDDU IBED, NDDU Marist, MSU CETD at MSU Fatima. Ang paaralang ito ay nagtamo ng mabibigat na pinsala sa kanilang mga gusali, opisina at iba pang pasilidad dahil dito hindi pa sila maaring gamitin sa kasalukuyang hanggat hindi natatapos ang masusing inspeksyon at mga kinakailangang pagkukumpuni upang matiyak ang kaligtasan ng mga mag-aaral, guro at kawani. Makikita rin po rito ang Kalumpang Church at St. Elizabeth Hospital nung pinuntahan natin, Mr. President, nagtamo rin ang pinsala dulot ng lindol at kasalukuyang sumasa ilalim sa pagsusuri at pagkukumpuni, samantala ang Grand Summit Hotel at Hikban Subdivision ay kabilang sa mga lugar na idiniklarang red tag of limits dahil sa tindi ng pinsalang natamo ng kanilang mga infrastruktura. Sa Hikban Subdivision, makikita rin ang malawakang pinsala sa mga kalsada na mahalaga sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay at paggalaw ng mga residente. Ang mga larawang ito, Mr. President, ay malinaw na nagpapakita ng lawak at hindi ng pinsalang dulot ng lindol sa ating lungsod. Nagsisilbi rin itong matibay na batayan ng pangangailangan para sa agarang rehabilitasyon, karagdarang tulong pinansyal at patuloy na suporta mula sa pambansang pamahalaan upang mapabilis ang pagbangon ng lungsod ng General Santos. Sa pagtatapos po ng aking ulat, nais ko pong ipaabot ang aming taos-pusong pasasalamat sa inyo, Mr. President, at sa buong pambansang pamahalaan sa inyong agarang pagtugon at patuloy na suporta sa lungsod ng General Santos. Lubos po naming kinikilala ang inyong malasakit, mabilis na aksyon at pagbibigay ng kinakailangang tulong sa gitna ng krisis na aming kinakaharap. Asahan po ninyo na ang pamalaang lungsod ng General Santos ay patuloy na makikipagtulungan sa lahat ng kinaukulang ahensya at magsisikap upang muling makabangon ng mas matatag, mas ligtas at mas handa sa anumang hamon na maaaring dumating sa hinaharap. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Maraming salamat sa report nyo. At yung iba rito napuntahan pa nga natin yung nung last week. Pati yung mga ospital. Pero hindi ko nakita yung City Hall mo pala talagang sira. Hindi natin nakita
Yes po,
yung loob
Mr.
kasi.
President.
Ganun pala yung damage doon. Ang laki ng damage sa ano.
Yes po, Mr.
Ang
President.
bagong ginawa natin dito ay nagbigay tayo ng tulong doon sa mga nasarahan ng negosyo.
Yes, sir.
Oo, mga empleyado. Yung mga empleyadong no work no pay. binigyan natin ng suporta dito. Naalala ko we started doing it nung Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Oo.
Yan yung project ni Mayor and then yung mga ibang governor, ganoon na rin ho napag-usapan namin. Sir, mga commercial workers, kay Gov, yung mga industrial workers kasi sarado rin yung mga pabrika. Then sa mga
Oo.
LGU, may mga maliliit na mga commercial rin na nagsara. So, sir, kasama na ho yan sa mga payout natin. So, tuloy-tuloy na ho tayo.
Kaya yan ang dahil talagang mag-aantay pa tayo at ang mga engineer natin umiikot pa para tignan, tiyakin kung ano yung building na pwede pa, ano yung talagang hindi na delikado pa, ano yung mga pwedeng ayusin pa, ano yung pwedeng kailangan ng gibain at magtayo ng bago. At maram na ito. Kaya we'll have to keep, but tuloy-tuloy lang naman ang suporta natin sa mga displaced at yung mga nawalan ng trabaho that wala hindi kung ma-clear na maganda kung ma-clear na yung mga building nila, pero hanggang mangyari yun, we'll just keep supporting first na para kahit papaano meron silang magamit na pondo. The next ang susunod na briefing is for Davao Oriental. Gov Frank will give us the
Good afternoon po, Mr. President.
Ikaw.
I'm Governor Bautista from the province of Davao Occidental po. Before I will make the assessment report or situational report of the damages that my province had experienced, I would like to, for a trivia, Mr. President, this is a new province. If you can recall, you were the chairman of the Committee on Local Government. We were the one, former Congressman Cagas and I were the one who filed the bill for this province to be separated from the original Davao Occidental, Davao del Sur. We have 5 municipalities, namely we have Don Marcelino, Ciudad Santos, Malita, Santa Maria, and Sarangani. And based on initial assessments and reports, Mr. President, the municipalities of Ciudad Santos and Sarangani were among the most affected areas due to the proximity to the epicenter. The municipalities of Malita, Santa Maria, and Don Marcelino likewise reported varying levels of damage and disruption. And to just be short in my report, Mr. President, I will just highlight the most affected municipalities, which is Sarangani and Ciudad Santos. As to casualties, Mr. President, in Sarangani, we have 120 injured, deaths 5, missing 5. And affected population, families 6,603, individuals 4,014. And damaged houses, totally 1,016, partially 992. Damaged government infra, totally 28, partially 87. Damaged private building, totally 27, partially 27. Ports, 1. In Balangunan Port, in Jas. Then, damaged classrooms, Mr. President, 33, and total, and partially, 11. As to Ciudad Santos, casualty 64, deaths 3, missing 18. And affected population 22,576, individuals 72,552, and damaged houses totally 1,840, partially 3,413, and damaged government infra 6 totally, and partially 23. And then ports 1, damaged classrooms 80 totally, and 91 partially.
Wala, ito.
And then as to regards the roads, Jose Abad Santos, 14 roads not passable, and as to bridges 6 not passable. As to assistance from the DSWD, Sarangani, so far, they had already distributed 9,514 or more. Then, in Abad Santos, 10,000 plus foodstuffs and other support. Then, I would like also to please inform you, Mr. President, that our city provincial hall is also damaged. We have no office to hold on our work. Damaged also po. So na lang matulungan din. And then yung aming port din doon sa Balangunan, which is connecting Sarangani and Jas, nasira din po. Tsaka yung hospital po namin kung pwede matulungan din kami para matapos na po yun. Kaya we have to go to Digos or Davao lang to bring our patients. Yung mahirapan po kami. So that's all. And then I would like to take this opportunity na pasalamat DSWD, lahat ng DOH, lahat ng mga government agencies na who were there to give the quick response, especially the PWH. Thank you so much. And especially to you, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you. That's
And EFE also.
meron ditong sa briefing coastal uplift. Meron palang areas na umusog.
Opo. Merong landslides, may dam effect na trap yung tubig po. Alam na po ni Secretary Vince.
Umurong talaga, no? Alright.
That's all, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Ha?
Dito na Sarangani Bay.
Merong mga umakyat.
Umatras yung dagat.
Nag-
1 week na, malayo pa rin yung dagat. Hindi na kabalik sa normal na 200 meters.
Tignan mo yung schools. Ang daming school. Alright. Okay, thank you for your briefing. The next agency who will give us their response is the DOH. So, Secretary, if you would like to go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Meron ba? Good morning. Good afternoon na pala sa ating mga kasamahan ng kabinete, kasamahan natin sa mga governor, mga mayor. Bigay ko po ang findings ng Department of Health. Sa casualties po, ang bilang po natin ay 1,726 total. Ang na-injure 1,600, ang namatay po 74. Ang marami po ito sa Soc-Sargen region. 53 of the deaths are in Soc-Sargen, 21 are in the Davao region. So based on our accounts, ang karamihan ng mga nagkukonsulta ngayon sa amin, ang number 1 ay respiratory illness. So nagpadala na tayo ng mga gamot doon sa mga evacuation centers na na-establish. Ang pangalawa, yung hypertension at saka yung mga chronic illnesses. So nag-issue na rin ako ng order at nagpadala na rin yung aking dalawang regional director ng mga gamot sa high blood, sa diabetes, yung metformin at saka yung losartan at amlodipine kasi walang mabili yata yung mga ibang mga kababayan natin. Ang isang malaking problem natin is safe drinking water. Sa Occidental, yung Balut, nagpadala na po tayo ng team, yung Davao Southern Philippines Medical Center. Pinadala natin yon, mga 60-man team. Dumating sila kahapon doon, nag-set up ng field hospital. Nakusap ko na rin si Vice Gov kahapon sa utos ni Sec Rex, nag-usap sila. At sinabi ko na nga, yung Davao Occidental Provincial Hospital ay DOH sa po yun. Pinasa po ni Vice Gov nung congresswoman siya. Napondohan siya in 2023, in 24-25, nawala sa health facilities. This year, pinasok po natin 350 million. Sana po hindi naalisin ng DBM sa NEP ninyo. So, para matapos, kasi your instruction to us was finish all ongoing health facilities. Nakalista yung kanila sa ongoing to be completed. So, may 350 po tayong nilagay sa 2027 budget. Sa mga facilities naman po, there are 26 facilities na na-damage, pero operational naman ang 21. 5 lang po ang hindi nag-operate. Ang non-operational, isang private hospital, Sarangani Bay Specialist Medical Center, na sira yata yung building. And then may 2 rural health units sa Dajangas at sa Malapatan, yun binisita natin po. At meron din tayo sa Davao, sa Calbay, at saka sa Mangulibas, yun. So, yun ang mga health facilities na totally damaged. Anyway, tuloy naman yung pagsiservisyo natin. So we made sure na may teams. Sa GLAN, nagpadala rin tayo ng 60-man team. Ang na-deploy naman namin dyan ay ang Cotabato Regional Medical Center. Sila yung dineploy natin doon. Nag-set up sila ng field hospital doon. May mga surgeon, anesthesiologists.
Yeah.
So yun yung field hospital na naka-set up po ngayon dyan. After a while, pag-rotate din natin yung ibang hospital, after 2 weeks yun, self-sustainable, 60-man team, para hindi sila pabigat dun sa bayan na tinutulungan nila. But they will provide services with medicines, diagnostic, at saka mga basic na operation. So, yung sa report na lang po namin, mga litrato na lang yan, ng mga making
Alright.
sure na tuloy-tuloy yung public health services. Yung inutos nyo nung una, yung mental health, no, nag-cabinet
Yes, oo.
meeting tayo, napuntahan na yun. About 70 plus teachers ang na-assess ng ating mental health and psychosocial team. Itong inutos ko na rin kay ARD Fatima, nandiyan siya.
Also,
yung binisita
yes.
natin sa Malapatan.
Oo, kasi
Pupunta
lalo
sila.
na yung mga bata that naapektuhan in the schools at saka sa kanilang mga bahay. But the same thing, nakapagpadala naman kami ng mga gamit, ng mga gamot, ng mga medical team. Maayos na. Ang talagang problema ngayon natin is the facilities. At ngayon nasa proseso pa lang tayo na ini-inspeksyon yung mga facilities. Baka yung iba hindi na pwede. Ganun din, parang sa school. Yung tinitingnan natin kung ano yung pwede pang ayusin. Yung iba hindi na pwedeng ayusin, gigibain at magtatayo ng bago. So nandun ngayon tayo when it comes to the health services para sa mga pasyente that are already in the hospital at saka yung mga pasyente na naging casualty dahil sa lindol.
Mr. President, dagdag
Yes,
ko lang
yes,
yung isang problem namin, yung water filtration, potable
Yes.
water
Oo.
sa GLAN at saka sa Balut Island. So nagpadala kami ng ultrafiltration doon. Pero kailangan pa rin yata, ang sistema yata ngayon sa GLAN may truck tapos iniikot pero safe water lang. Hindi pa namin tested, so pinadadala ko sa regional
Well,
office yung testing.
iba yung level of water quality pag sa hospital. It has to be better than just potable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tama po.
Practically
Oo.
distilled water yung purity niyan sa inyo. Anyway, so how can we what are we doing? What are we doing to remedy that?
So yung sa safe drinking water, yung sa JAS nakapagpadala ako ng truck na mobile ultrafiltration kasi hindi masakay sa boat kaya hindi madala sa balot. Mabigat. Pero nadala sa JAS where many are affected. So yung nandito sa GLAN, gravitational water filtration system. Dala nila using gravity kahit walang power, pwedeng ma-filter. Tapos ang pinapadala ko yung test kits to check coliform para safe. Kasi may nagre-report na ng mga batang nagtatae. So, very important yung water na nainom. In the meantime, ang recommendation ko talaga i-boil. Yung mga dinistribute by tank, i-boil na lang kung may pang-boil. Pakuluan yung tubig, tsaka inumin after palamigin. So, and I'm sending also chlorine tablets. Ayaw lang
yes,
nung
of
iba yung
course.
chlorine
Oo,
tablets kasi lasan swimming pool yung tubig. Pero pwede na rin yun,
pwede
kaysa
na yun.
magtae.
Pwede na yun. At least nakakasiguro. Oo nga, okay na rin yun. At least the chlorine is taking care of the purity of the water. All right. Next, DSWD. First of all, maybe we can help the water supply again. The usual.
Sir,
What we
the
do.
filtration truck namin will arrive this afternoon. Ipoposition na namin sa GLAN.
Yeah.
It will be there by 5 p.m. And then, sir, dala rin namin yung jerry cans, yung filtration na balde. But sabi nga ni Ted, that's safe for now.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
So we're going to start distributing it sa mga evacuation centers. Yeah.
Okay.
So the report is as of 6 a.m. So hindi ko sure kung parehas kami ng cut-off na ginamit ng OCD.
Yes.
But 6 a.m. So as of this morning, ang natitira na evacuation center, Mr. President, 44. Of which around 4,019 families are inside. Marami ng evacuation nagsasara. Pero Mr. President, I think si Sec Vince will explain later. Doon sa Jose Abad Santos, dadami ho tayo because of the phenomenon, yung landslide dams. I think si Sec Vince will explain and sila Gov will explain.
Alright.
So we are pulling out people preemptively again because of unnatural dam formations, so to speak, because of landslides. So we expect these numbers to go up a bit.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. President, in the next slide, nakausap ko na naman ho yung mga governors and mayors. We've already distributed 125,000 family food packs in 7 days. And we're fully secured. Nakita niyo naman ho kanina. We won't stop. Sa assurance ko kay sa lahat ng affected governors and mayors, as in your instruction, siguraduhin na walang nagugutom. So, we have food on the ground. Tuloy-tuloy ho yan. Marami ho yan.
Kaya ang ginagawa ngayon namin, kahit na umalis na sa evacuation center, pero hindi pa nakauwi sa kanilang bahay, binibigyan pa rin namin ng food pack o lahat ng assistance. Parang ang assistance na binibigay natin sa kanila, dahil nakikitira sila sa kaibigan, sa kamag-anak, binibigyan natin sila ng assistance. Parang nasa evacuation center pa sila. And that's really the one thing that we have to continue.
Yes.
Hanggang it's going to take a while to recover because it's an infrastructure problem.
Yes, sir. For instance, Jensa, nag-usap kami ni Mayor Lorely, we should be done with the first 200,000 by today. Nandiyan na, pwede nang kunin yon. And then sa Sarangani, meron ho kami ang GLAN kasi doon ang mabigat. We earmarked 60,000. Naka-round 1 na tayo, sabi ni Mayor kanina, meaning nabigay na yung first 20,000. Another 40,000 pwede na rin pamigay ho yun. Kay Gov June, I think may pending rin ho kami but it can be picked up already, 7,000 ho yun. Davao Occidental, nag-usap rin kami ni Gov, Vice Gov and the Mayors, tuloy-tuloy rin naman ho kami doon.
Okay. Basta kung may nangangailangan pa kayo ng mga food pack, sabihin nyo sa amin. Nakapag-produce kami ng marami. Bago nung lindol ang naka-storage ng food pack natin, more than 5 million na. Lumampas na tayo sa 5 million. So hindi naman siguro tayo maubusan. So sige lang, kung anong pangangailangan ninyo, sabihan mo lang kami. Pero may augmentation na rin na bagong luto na pagkain, yung food truck. Nagbuo kami ng 2 years ago. Nagbuo kami ng mga food truck kasi kahit na pag medyo matagal na, mahirap naman yung puro dilata ang kinakain at saka kanin lang. So yun that's what we are doing to continue the feeding. Ang DSWD nagpo-provide yung filtration system, yung mini filtration system, yung balde lang tapos dinalaga ng filter. That's good for the needs of 100 persons per day. Ang isang balde, pwede yun at saka madaling gamitin. So for now, okay na yun as a potable source. At saka yun, hindi na babawiin yun, iiwan na namin sa inyo yun. So pwede pa rin gamitin, basta't alagaan na mabuti, you can use it for a long time.
Sir,
Alright.
then lastly, based on your instructions, sisimulan na rin ho natin yung financial assistance. Nag-meet na ho kami ng lahat ng local officials. Ang due date namin ngayon hapon, makuha na lahat ng list. And then, sir, ang turnaround namin, hopefully this weekend, we can start paying out simultaneously all over the affected areas.
But that's a DSWD payout.
Yes, sir.
Meron, okay, I'll explain kung ano pa yung mga i-release namin na pondo.
Sir, so yun, I
hindi
think,
lamang DSWD.
sir, we've squared off with almost all the local government units. So,
Alright.
lock and load na ho kami.
Alright. So, ang mag-distribute, mga LGU na.
Sir, sabay. Nandyan rin sila kasi kabisado ng mga social worker nila yung lugar.
Oh, siyempre.
Yeah, sir, and then we've also agreed with them, sir, na yung relaxing off kasi wala na mga ID na tabunan sa bahay.
Oo.
So we all agreed with the local certification na lang ho. Kasi kahit ipilit namin yung anong ID, wala na hong natira yeah, so we agreed with the governors, the mayors na a certification from their end, okay na ho kami doon.
No, that's good enough. Basta't mailabas natin kaagad. Yung mga papeles, pag hinanghapan natin ng papeles, wala sila may bibigay. That defeats the purpose. O sige. I think we can rely on the listing that's given to us by the mayors and the governors.
Yes, sir.
On those who are in need in the affected areas.
Yeah, the last page, sir, just gives you an idea of our national stockpile. So kahit na lahat to nangyayari, As we speak, we still have 4.8 million. 5 million yan nung una eh.
Oo.
Kasi nakapaglabas na ho tayo ng 200, 150,000. But please don't worry, the production lines are running at full speed. 22,000 a day ang nagagawa ng mga yon. So, sir, instruction nyo, walang problema yung pagkain, basic kits. Tents, we're augmenting. May mga nakukuha pa ho kaming request. So, okay na ho. Those are being complied with, sir.
4 mobile command centers
Yes, sir, yan yung mga kanina.
in 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then the kitchens also are in your field offices. Nagdoble ka dito sa ano? Because you have 4 field offices but 5 mobile kitchens. So,
So lahat binuhos na natin dito.
Yeah.
We took over, I think the running hot kitchens, 5 nandito sa region. And then the mobile command centers, 2 o 3 ho yun nandito. The water tank will come this afternoon. All the mobile assets namin na pwedeng dalhin, dinala na namin dito.
Alright.
Ayun, tas we augmented also 100 social workers from the different regions to help out kasi medyo kailangan rin ng tulong ho ng LGUs ng mga social workers eh.
all right. Okay. Hindi. But, meron din pala dito sa ano, suspended ng classes. So, ang suspension of classes and work hanggang 15, June 15, pare-pareho ba?
Ngayong araw, sir. May naiwan na ako yung natamaan ng intensity 7, which is out of 11 LGUs. Meron kaming 5 na intensity 5 lang, pero yung malapit sa Jansan, yun yung intensity 7. Yun yung na-check na namin yung mga classrooms, yung iba okay na rin. Bukas, magre-resume na halos lahat. Bukas.
At ang ng school.
Opo, sir.
Oh, okay.
Pero yung ibang classrooms na hindi magamit, hindi lang namin pinagamit dahil natapos naman namin assess. Ang nangyari sa South Cotabato, sir, meron kaming 3 namatay, isang missing, at give up na rin ng family kasi masyadong isang gym yung bumagsak eh. Hindi na rin namin makuha dahil hindi rin passable ng equipment, so give up na rin ng family. Pero yung 3 casualties, isang missing. At yung ano namin, sir, yung injured namin is nasa 415 as of 6 a.m. Today. So, 415. At yung medyo naka-recover na rin kami, naging stable na rin. Kaya't lang yung mga bridges na namin, mayroon kaming 11 bridge at 45 road section na talagang nagkaroon lang kami ng mga diversion road or mga detour na ginawa. A total of yung bridges kasi, sir, a total 195 million. At yung roads namin 342 million. At meron kaming evacuation center 2, pero the rest ng families, kasi ang affected families is 8,220, pero nagkaroon kasi kami ng adapt family. Yung community na mismo nag-adapt, kaya wala kami evacuation. Maliban lang doon sa isang barangay na nagkaroon ng tension crack, kaya hindi talaga maibalik yung buong barangay, kaya nagkaroon kami ng evacuation center sa 2 LGU. Pero the rest, yung 8,000 na families affected, nagkaroon na ng mga nag-adapt na family ito. At ito rin pinapadala ng DSWD natin ng mga food packs kasama nung nasa LGU namin. So, total damage namin is nasa 632 million ng damage namin. Kasama na yung ano. Pero sa mga ospital namin, operated naman lahat. Wala namang problema sa mga ospital. Kaya medyo okay. Dahil yung halos lahat ng hospital situated doon sa Coronadal, medyo hindi malakas masyado. Pero dito kasi sa 3 municipality na yung portion ng Coronadal, nakuha pa natin ng 7, pero near Tantangan, nasa 5 na lang. So yung mga hospital natin hindi masyado napiktuhan. Maliban dito sa 1st District, na boundary natin ng Jansan, talagang dyan ang sobrang dami. Kung mapapansin mo, Tampakan, 2 people lumulok, nasa 2,000 family each ang affected. Pero provided naman lahat ng DSWD. At sa ngayon, meron lang kaming 3 recorded na aftershocks since last night hanggang ngayon. So medyo stable na, sir. Yung amin lang, magkakaroon na sana ng permanent solution yung mga roads section na 45 and bridge na 11. Pero meron na instruction si Sec Vince sa district engineer para ginagawa na rin ng palaan, sir. Maraming salamat, sir.
Okay, thank you, Gov. Jun, for South Cot. All right. the
President, si
yes, Mark.
Mark Hagas.
Huh?
Davao del Sur.
Davao del Sur.
Yeah.
I have told the regional director of DPWH, nilindol din ho kami 2019. Nilindol din ho kami 2019. Meron ka ho request po 2 bridges that were not really, hindi po inayos sir since 2019. Nagsabit na ako ng circuits. Sana po ngayon po maayos. Very vital po. Kasi pag natuluyang na kuwan sir, the damage, isolated yung mga towns. Thank you sir.
Okay.
Instructions 2019. Just found out from
What happened? Why in 2019?
Pinabayaan.
No, what happened?
There was a lindol. There was a
The other one in 2019. Oh.
pre-pandemic na.
Yes. All right. O sige, include na namin doon sa aming rehabilitate. Okay. All right. Now we'll hear the report of the DSUD so that we have an idea kung paano natin tutulungan yung mga nawalan ng tirahan. Ano yung mga assistances. Ito si
Good afternoon,
Secretary.
everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. President. As of this morning, ang number natin is 58,000 houses damaged, 11,000 fully damaged, totally damaged, and 47,000 partially damaged. So, 4 na assistance po ang meron tayo. Unang-una, through the National Housing Authority, meron po tayong cash assistance dito sa mga nasiraan ng mga bahay. Starting Thursday, magdi-distribute na po ng cash ang NHA. Second, meron po tayong construction materials. Ito po yung mga basic materials para ma-repair yung bahay nila. Makatulong tayo, yero, plywood, mga lumber. And meron din po tayong mga shelter kits. Nandito yung mga tools nila para magawa yung mga bahay nila. Pangatlo, meron po tayong modular shelter units. Ito po yung mga nagawa natin, tinatawag natin Bayanihan Village, na nagawa na natin sa ibang LGUs previously. So ang first batch po dito, 500 units, ang JAS, Malapatan, Jensan City, Glan, and Sarangani, Balut Island. So ang first batch po nito, sisimulan po natin around Tuesday or Wednesday next week. No? Pinoprocure na po namin yung 500 units. Ang kailangan lang po dito sa modular shelter units, meron po kayong available na lupang tatayuan. Pag nakita po, identify po natin yung lupang tatayuan, i-clear lang po natin sa DNR na safe yung lugar na yon, and then we will proceed with the installation of the MSUs. Pang-apat po, sa tulong po ng ating attached agencies, may moratorium po tayo sa pagbayad ng loan, NHMFC.
Yung sa modular units, ilan ang dadalhin nyo rito?
First batch po natin, 500.
500.
No? So yung mga nangangailangan pa po ng mga LGUs na modular shelter units, identify lang nyo po yung lupa ninyo, pupuntahan po ng DHSUD para ma-assess natin kung viable.
Naitatayo nila yan within 2 weeks. Basta't ma-identify na yung lugar, ayusin lang ng konting land prep. After the land prep, 2 weeks, nakatayo na yung modular safety unit. Okay.
So, ang pang-apat po, sa tulong po ng ating attached agencies, NHMFC, NHA, SHFC, and Pag-ibig Fund, meron po tayong loan moratorium. So, lahat po na naapektuhan itong lindol, may moratorium po tayo sa pagbayad ng loan. And dagdag pa po dito, yung mga members po ng Pag-ibig Fund can avail of 3 loans. One is the calamity loan, emergency loan, pati na po yung oil crisis loan. Pwede po nilang avail yun. Mga 30,000 din po yun. Malaking tulong po yun kung nangangailangan sila ng mabilis na pera. So yun po, ang 4 na assistance mo mula sa DHSUD kasama po ang ating mga attached agencies. So patuloy po ang DHSUD regional offices saka NHA magko-coordinate po sa mga LGUs po ninyo. Thank you.
Thank you. Itong construction material, you have a list here of construction materials. CGI sheet, plain sheet, umbrella nail, good lumber, nails, martilyo, 20-inch handsaw, etc. Saan pupunta? How many sets of this are you giving?
Meron po tayong
together
10.
with the shelter repair kit
Ang
inclusion?
batch po natin dito is 2.5 million per set. So meron po tayong naka-under process ngayon na 10. Magdi-deliver po kami starting Friday. Ngayon yung mga LGUs pa po na hindi namin napupuntahan, magko-coordinate po kami sa inyo para malaman kung ano yung mga construction materials talaga ang kailangan po ng mga tao po doon sa LGU na naapektuhan.
Oo. Alright, kasi ang ano yan, may phases yan. Pag unang tinamaan, pag tayo, bagyo, lindol, ganito, siyempre rescue and relief ang inuuna natin. Hanggang ngayon, nagre-rescue pa tayo. Although palagay ko, our hopes are starting to dim kung may survivor pa tayo makuha, but we still have to recover everybody. So, after pagka medyo nagawa na yung initial na rescue and relief, ay ang susunod na yung pag-relocate. And that's why, kaya ang DSUD nagbibigay ng hindi lamang ng construction material, kundi pati ng cash para yung pamilya ay pwede silang bumili kung ano yung kailangan nila. Because umaabot tayo, laging nangyayari dyan na okay, mabuti yung may pagkain, mabuti may tubig, pero iba-ibang pamilya, iba-ibang pangangailangan. So, kaya tayo nag-provide na ng cash na for that, for the rehabilitation and then as a cash assistance. We have the program now that was really directed doon sa oil crisis, doon yung energy emergency na ginawa natin. Pero it's still an emergency, so you can avail of that. All right. Now, ito, Public Works, ito maraming i-report. Sec Vince, maybe you will have to, maraming trabaho ang haharap mo.
Magandang hapon po.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon po mga governors natin, vice govs, mga mayors natin. Unang-una po, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang clearing operations natin all over the affected areas, primarily Region 12 and Region 11. Specifically, Jensan, Sarangani, South Cot, and sa Region 11 po sa Davao Occidental and some parts of Davao del Sur. As of today po, 17 bridges have now been made passable throughout the two regions, Region 11 and Region 12. This includes the Buayan Bridge here in Jensan, the Sapumasga Bridge, yung pong Lampari Bridge sa South Cotabato, passable na rin po yan. Pati po yung mga iba pong bridges natin sa Davao Occidental. 11 major roads na rin po are now passable, especially itong papuntang Glan. Tagaganyan po ang inuna natin dahil na-isolate po ang bayan ng Glan since the earthquake. Pero dahil po na-open na natin, nakakapasok na po yung mga critical goods and services po natin doon, including po yung mga kailangan pong ipasok ng ating mga electric cooperatives, Mr. President, through the National Electrification Administration, nakakapasok na rin po. Kasama po sa mga roads na tuloy-tuloy pa rin natin inaayos, ito pong critical na road connecting Jensan to South Cotabato, yung pong ating Jensan San Jose Tibuli Road. Yan po talaga na cut off, pero meron naman pong detour na madadaanan. At kasama din po yung ibang mga roads natin. Siguro po, Mr. President, magdedwell na lang po ako dun sa ating mga challenges ngayon, no? Na nakikipagtulungan po tayo sa ating mga provincial and local governments. Unang-una po, aparte sa mga roads and bridges, yung mga ospital po ang ating priority din. Kaya po itong sa Agabel, yung binisita po ni Pangulo kanina, nag-commit na po ang ating Agabel City Engineer, Municipal Engineer and yung ating District Engineer sa Sarangani na within the week, papapasok na po lahat ng pasyente sa provincial hospital natin sa Agabel. Within the week po.
Those that are, yung mga building na cleared na.
Opo, Mr. President.
Okay.
Yun po ang commitment ng ating...
So, by this week, may inspection yun ng lahat.
Magagamit na po lahat yung buong ospital. Kasama, yung pong ospital sa Glan, ayusin din po natin kasi medyo heavy din po ang damage doon. Next po, yung mga eskwelahan. So ngayon po, ang top priority natin is i-inspect lahat ng mga eskwelahan to prepare for the opening sa... Marami po magbubukas ng Merkules.
15 or 16.
17 daw po, no, sa Sarangani.
17 na.
Opo, so yun po pipilitin natin na ma-inspect na po lahat ng mga usable na classrooms para po dun muna mag-shifting po ang ating mga estudyante para makaumpisa na po. In the meantime po, ina-assess din po yung mga na-damage na classrooms at tinitignan kung pwede pang masalba yung mga building or magdidesisyon na po tayo kung totally di-demolish na natin na magtatayo na nga po tayo ng bago. Those decisions will be made na rin po within the week, Mr. President, governors, vice governors, and mayors. Finally po, no, meron po tayong medyo masalimuot na sitwasyon sa bayan ng Jose Abad Santos sa Davao Occidental. Nandito po ngayon si Mayor Jason Joyce, Mr. President. No, kausap po namin siya ni Sec Rex since the very beginning. No, and we have been working doubly hard dahil po napakalayo po at napaka-isolated nung bayan ni Mayor Joyce. Ito po yung malapit sa epicenter sa Sarangani side, but it is in Davao Occidental. Ngayon po, napakahirap po nung pagkiklear natin ng kalye. Ito po ay mataas na lugar at talaga pong na-cut off. At meron po tayong added situation dyan. Meron pong mga landslide na debris from the mountains na dahil po doon, nasara po yung mga waterways na dinadaanan ng tubig. Yung pong mga ilog natin pababa mula sa mga barangay ng Jose Abad Santos tulad ng San Isidro, nagsara po. Dahil po doon, dahil tuloy-tuloy po ang pag-ulan since last week, nag-iipon na po ang mga tubig sa high portions of Jose Abad Santos, specifically the barangay of San Isidro. Ang problema po is, pag yun po ay nag-break yung mga, dahil po unstable material yon, kapag yun po ay nag-break, raragasa po ang floodwaters downstream. And meron din pong mga populated barangay sa baba. So, nag-usap po kami ni Sec Rex kahapon, nandun po siya kay Governor Franklin at kay Vice Gov Lorna. At ang naging desisyon na po is to evacuate the low-lying barangays, specifically the barangays of Nuing, no? And Sugan. And I think as of this morning, na-evacuate na po.
Nailipat na sila.
So, ngayon po,
saan sila dinala?
Evacuation centers nila Mayor sa nila Gov. We're operating three for 800 families.
opo.
Marami rin pala.
So, dahil,
Marami rin pala.
marami din po, Mr. President. Kaya we could not take any risks lang po. So, ngayon po na na-evacuate na, Mr. President, DPWH can now come in through Region 11, joint na po yan, Region 11 and 12, na i-clear na po slowly but surely yung landslide material para po dahan-dahan pong lumabas na po yung tubig na nag-iimbak na po ngayon sa higher barangays ng Jose Abad Santos. No? So, si Mayor
Mr. President,
Joyce,
What are they housed in?
Mayor Sanayang.
What are they housed in?
Mr. President,
Puro evacuation center.
Nagtayo yung LGU. I think si Mayor Joyce can explain much better kung ano ho, or si Gov. Mayor, kayo siguro.
yes po, Mr. President, we have 5 barangays affected with landslide damming: San Isidro, Butuan, Camalian, Malalan, and Sugal. And we have already ordered preemptive evacuation to all of these low-lying barangays po. The temporary evacuation centers would be the open grounds of all the schools because we cannot use our formal evacuation centers because these are also damaged, Mr. President. So I instructed all of my punong barangays to establish tent cities in safer areas po, Mr. President. And also, Mr. President, the dilemma about our landslide damming is these areas are not reachable by land. There are no roads as these are very upland barangays po. So the solution is to airlift people who would excavate or do blasting po in these areas. Wala pong kalsada papunta doon dahil ito ay nasa bundok po talaga, Mr. President. And lahat po kasi ng barangay namin may rivers po.
Ilan pa yung barangay na hindi nyo pa mapasok?
San Isidro, Quiapo, and Molmol po na barangay. However po, day 3 pa lang po ay napadalhan na po ng mga relief goods through air assets po sir. And actually, today po as we speak, we've discovered 10 more isolated sitios. I reported yesterday, and today po napadalhan na po agad ng pagkain ang 500 families in the isolated sitios. We have a lot of isolated sitios. Nararating lang po ito via helicopter po.
Oo, kasi maraming yung gumuho yung lupa, talagang ang hirap i-clear. Baka pati kalsada nasira eh.
Opo.
May mga
Tsaka-
kalsadang sira eh.
Opo, Mr. President, and yung mga barangay po na sinabi ni Mayor, ang problema po dyan, halos wala akong kalsada talagang
Oo.
maayos na pakyat.
Oo.
Mr. President, ang ngayon po
Well,
is, now that the evacuation has been done, and we are sure na kung mag-release tayo ng tubig, wala na pong maapektuhan sa low-lying barangays. We can now start the possible engineering solutions para mabuwag po natin yung mga landslide dams. But I have instructed po our regional directors, district engineers sa 11 and 12 na makipag-coordinate na rin po sa NDRRMC and sa AFP because we might need to request some assistance for blasting. Kasi nga po, hindi ganun kadaling mag-akyat ng equipment dahil wala pong kalye para ibuwagin yung mga dam. We might need to resort to some form of blasting dun sa area para ho
Why blasting? What will you blast?
yung mga dam po, yung mga harang na lupa dahil sa landslide, kailangan pong i-blast para po makawala yung tubig. Ang problema po kasi natin ngayon, halimbawa sa San Isidro, habang ulan ng ulan, naiipon po ang tubig at na-flood na rin po yung mga barangays na yon. So we have to act quickly para po dun sa mga upland barangays na kung saan nagkaroon ng damming. So we will have to, medyo masalimuot lang po yung ating solution dyan, but we will have to coordinate very well with the NDRRMC. Kasi nga po yung heavy equipment, hindi natin maiakyat sa bundok. So we will have to work po with the AFP and NDRRMC.
Parang sir, pag hindi ko parang naging earth dam,
Yes.
Yes.
tapos naipon yung tubig.
Naipon yung tubig.
Oo. That's what, yun na nga. Kasi naggumuho na naharang yung tubig.
Opo. And ang importante kang naman po, wala nang tatamaan sa baba. So what we have to worry about now are the upland barangays. Thanks to Sec Rex's pong yung mabilis na evacuation starting yesterday. Yun nga po, Mr. President, and just to assure all the local officials, the provincial officials, and the local government officials na DPWH po has mobilized both public and private equipment and personnel, pati po yung mga pribadong kontratista. Ang sabi nga po natin advance now, pay later na lang yung trabaho. Advance muna ng trabaho, pay later na lang yan. So, trabaho lang muna sila and tuloy-tuloy po yan. No?
Good. Well, yes.
Yun nga po,
but-
Mr. President.
And tutulong naman sila basta we can guarantee that they will be paid as soon as possible. All right. Now, yes, Admin Nanay, about the power sa national electrification.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. President. As far as power is concerned, I'm happy to inform that Gensan is back to normal, 100% energized except for the damaged properties. With regard to Sarangani, out of the 7 municipalities, 6 are already back to normal. We are only attending all hands on deck in Glan. All the 25 contingents of the Task Force Kapatid are all deployed in the area of Glan. And we were informed yesterday that access roads were cleared already. So hopefully we can already go into the, especially the mountain barangays. There are, I think, about 12 barangays dun whose mountainous area. On the population area, we are already at 87%. We're back to normal. So as soon as makapasok po yung mga task force, give or take 48 to 72 hours.
Usually 48 to 70.
Yeah, we can already restore electricity, including restoration of broken poles. Nandun na ho lahat ng materyales, nakaabang na ho lahat. Mr. President, I just would like to make mention also, there is a bit of major challenge also in Sarangani regarding the 69 kV line na nakasituate dun sa malapit na sa landslide area. So yesterday, thank you for the assistance of Secretary Vince. I asked the assistance of DPWH already. And we are able to find a relocation site. Ililipat lang ho namin. At kasi pag umulan ho, tumuloy ang landslide. Pag natumba po yung 69 kV, the whole Sarangani, wala hong kuryente.
Oo nga.
So we are trying to do this within 48 hours again. We have already identified the site, and we have seek the assistance of DPWH for the bringing in of the 70-foot poles dun po sa bundok. And I already talked to Mayor Yap earlier. There are 5 property owners that have to agree, and siya na raw ang kakausap. So hopefully we can do this in 48 hours. After that po, okay na po tayo.
Okay. Well, according to your report, yun na nga, of the 7, Kiamba, Maitu, Maasim, Alabel, Malapatan, Malungon, 100% na. Glan lang talaga.
Glan na lang po. All hands
Kasi
on deck na lang po.
nahuli yung pagpasok nila eh. Dahil nga sarado yung daan. Oo. Malaking at saka hindi when were you able we opened that road Thursday?
Wednesday po.
Wednesday po.
Nabuksan na.
Wednesday po.
Oh, sige. So at least we will just work on Glan to make sure that we have what we need.
Yes, Mr. President, all the 25 contingents of the Task Force Kapatid po, hindi po sila uuwi hanggang hindi 100% ang Glan.
Okay, you will sought assistance also from the
These are the Mindanao cooperatives po.
yeah. Oo.
25 cooperatives po ang nagpadala ng team
Came
dito sa...
to help. All right. Okay. So that's the situation sa NEA. And one of the pinakamalaking problema is DepEd because of the schools. We saw the report on the damage, 600 plus ang fully damaged na school building. Meron ako niyan. I have that. Oh, sige, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and our cabinet secretaries and LG officials. On behalf of Secretary Sani Angara, let me just provide an update. So 6 regions were affected, but that of these, 10,320 classrooms really affected and in the different stages of disrepair. 3,500 schools were suspended, but that 5,590 schools resumed classes as of Thursday last week. 1,756 classrooms were totally damaged, and it's not just the classrooms but also the chairs, also blackboard, ICT equipment, and even some of our textbooks there were also heavily damaged. And then heavily damaged, of course, are Sarangani, Jensan, and Davao Occidental. And classrooms affected were around 6,000 classrooms. And there are major damaged classrooms totaling 600, and totally damaged classrooms totaling 800. Our ongoing interventions as of today, June 15, because this is the second week of the earthquake, we did a quick response. We sent quick response teams, Mr. President, the moment that the earthquake happened at 2 o'clock. Our personnel from Central Office and our DRR were here to take a look at and support our DepEd Region 12. And then we already downloaded 21.9 million for clearing operations and cleaning up. Specifically, we were able to give to South Cotabato, North Cotabato, and Sarangani. And then for during the first week, the students were out of school because we wanted them to be safe first. But this week, we're already starting with our face-to-face classes. Those that couldn't go to classes will be given modules depending on the situation of their school. There are some schools that already accepted several levels, but other grade levels are still in their houses because the schools cannot accommodate everyone. We also will be downloading 235 million for our learning continuity spaces that will account for like 100 to 130 learning spaces, Mr. President. And then we are also going to download 259 million for printing and delivering of learning packets so that the students, even if they are not in school, will still continue their learning. And then because many were traumatized actually by the earthquake, we have asked our teachers to also undergo psychological first aid before the learners will undergo psychological, because even our teachers were also affected by it. And then there are also some families of our teaching and non-teaching personnel who stayed in our evacuation centers because their houses were also damaged. But these are, I think, only a handful. That's our report
All
for
right.
now, Mr. President.
The one thing that we noticed also the last week when we were here, the teachers na nasiraan ng bahay, may assistance na pwedeng bigay ng DSUD. So you collect also because they're also victims.
Yeah.
I'm sure may sira din yung kanilang mga bahay, etc. So we can provide them also assistance.
Yes, Mr. President, the teachers will appreciate that.
We should get a canvas kung how many of them need help, etc. What kind of help, so that we can include them in our provision of assistance. All right. We have to look after our teachers. All right. Okay, thank you. That's for DepEd. OCD, you want to add something?
Yes, sir. I just want to inform the President that we were able to mobilize all our logistics assets from the AFP, PNP, and Coast Guard. And that's why we were able to brought in the goods up to the last mile, sir.
Thank you.
So, additionally, sir, I just want to inform you, being the manager of our NDRRF fund, we still have around 17 billion, sir, available.
Okay. All right. So I think we have a good understanding of the situation from, of course, the LGUs and the LGU executives. Continue to provide us with information kasi hindi pa naman, this is still a developing situation. For example, we're still recovering mga missing. Then of course we have to attend to the repair of the hospitals para maibalik natin yung pasyente, makapasok sila sa loob. And then of course DPWH, we have to do the assessment, the engineering assessment to see what is safe, what is not safe, what has to be done, and all of that. So tuloy-tuloy lang, basta we work together with the LGUs. You feel free to contact me, anybody that you need, or any of the secretaries, any of the heads of agencies, kung ano pa yung nakita ninyo na pangangailangan. Kung kaya natin dalhin, dadalhin namin. So I will, in addition to what we have just heard, meron din manggaling sa Office of the President na we have put aside 278 million for the local governments who have been hit hard by the earthquake. So Sarangani and Jensan will receive 50 million, South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat 30 million, Davao Occidental and Glan 20 million each, Zamboanga will get 15 million. And those others, yung ibang apektado na lokal na pamahalaan, ay meron pa rin, may pondo pa rin, we can give up to from 3 to 10 million for everyone. Sa ilalim naman ng LGSF, maglalabas tayo ng 50 million kaagad para sa pagpaayos ng mga government building at sa isang ospital, kagaya sa Alabel at saka sa Glan. So we will need to use that immediately. Narinig naman ninyo ang DSWD, maayos ang ating supply pagdating sa mga relief goods. At yung mga isolated na lugar, pipilitin natin makapunta. Yung mga ibang barangay na talagang walang madaanan, ay magpapalipad na lang muna tayo ng helicopter. Yung iba, kung pwede, kung kaya sa dagat, gagawin din namin yun. But whatever it takes, kailangan, mahirap hindi namin kinakalimutan dahil walang pagkain ng mga yan eh. Kaya walang makakain yung mga yan. Kasi kung meron man silang naitabi, by now nauubos na yan o baka nasira pa sa lindol. Kaya we'll just keep providing. Kagaya ganun nga ang sabi ko, kahit na nag-evacuation center at umalis na sa evacuation center, nakikitira sa kanilang kamag-anak o kaibigan, ay patuloy pa rin ang provide namin ng at least emergency basic goods. At ang DSUD, kagaya na nabanggit ni Sec, is magbibigay ng 30,000 cash assistance sa mga totally destroyed na residences. Ang DPWH na ay yun ang mga inuuna rin yung mga tulay, malapatan yung sa Pumasla, yung Sarangani, Davao del Sur Coastal Road, sa Glan din. Yung mga isolated barangay ay karamihan may access na pero may mga sitio pa raw. So yun ang titiyakin natin, pipilitin natin na makarating ang mga relief goods. So ang DOH has already provided to the DOH of Sarangani and General Santos, nakapag-provide na ng hygiene kit, ng gamot, vitamin, iba pang medical supply. We have been able to bring them in already. So we'll just continue to do that dito. Nandito na yung Philippine Emergency Medical Assistance Team o yung PEMAT ng DOH Cotabato Regional Medical Center para makatulong dito sa ating mga nangangailangan. And merong yung water filtration system, gamot para sa mga nasiraan ng tiyan dahil baka uminom ng tubig, may nakain na hindi malinis, magdadala rin sila. Ang Philippine Army, magdadala rin ng water filtration system. Dadalhin nila sa Maasim dito sa inyo sa Sarangani. The Public Works continuing ang assessment sa apektadong ospital, health facility, eskwelahan, public buildings, pati na yung mga private eventually, pero hindi yun ang priority. Ang priority natin ay yung siyempre government buildings para makapag-opisina naman yung ating mga empleyado para magawa nila yung trabaho nila. DOE, NEA, and the cooperative nag-aayos ng kuryente sa Sarangani at sa ngayon, lahat na ng ospital na apektado ay may kuryente na. So, that's at least something. Sa Task Force Kapatid, na tinutulungan ng ilang kooperatiba ang Southcott 2 Electrical Cooperative na nagsaserbisyo sa Gensan and other parts ng Sarangani. So, yung linya, we'll just keep yun na lang siguro. Well, Glan is still at 19% of normal. So, that's what we will prioritize. Yeah. Ang DICT, nagbibigay din ng internet connection para sa mga health facilities sa mga eskwela para meron silang magamit. Again, DepEd and DPWH patuloy ang inspeksyon para malaman natin kung ilan ang magamit nating eskwelahan. Pero pagka yung mga building na nakita natin na talagang hindi na pwede gigibain, magpo-provide naman ang DepEd ng alternative space. Yung binibigay natin para pagka may ganitong klaseng sakuna. Ang DepEd naglabas ng almost 22 million para sa clean up, para sa pagpaayos ng mga napinsalang silid-aralan. And papatupad yung flexible at distance learning para hindi naman maiwanan yung ating mga estudyante. And the DepEd will provide learning packets also, no, for those for the students para patuloy na kahit papaano patuloy pa rin ang kanilang pag-aaral. Well, we just have to be very careful kasi kagaya ng nararamdaman ninyo, patuloy pa rin ang mga aftershock at kailangan pa rin mag-ingat. Tell our people na mag-ingat sila, wag silang mag-take risk. Kahit gustong-gusto na nilang pumasok doon sa mga lugar, na hindi pa na-clear ng ating mga engineer, huwag mag-ingat na lang sila. Mas mabuti na lang na sigurado. Kaya sabihin mo sa kanila, safe lang sila. Hindi naman siguro kung ano man yung nandun sa loob ng kanilang bahay, kanilang opisina, hindi naman siguro mawawala yan dahil nag-aabang pa lang lahat ng tao para ma-clear ang mga building. So, tuloy-tuloy lang tayo. I think that we have to be resigned to the fact na ang lakas talaga nitong Lindol na ito is one of the strongest that we have felt. The last time, yung naalala ko yung 19 sa Cotabato, 76. 2,000 yung namatay sa tsunami. Sa tsunami, hindi gaano sa Lindol. Andaan ako, pumunta kami dito. Pumunta kami para gabi. Gabi, ang daming natangay. But that was, wala pang 8 yun. Wala pang 8. Ito, yung may moments na nag-8 eh. Nag-8.1 daw eh. Yes, please.
Mr. President, I'm the mayor of municipality of Calamansig.
Oh, yes, Calamansig. Yes. Yes.
Of the last February, we have an average of 200 tremors in Calamansig. In front is the epicenter, and we were hardly hit during the 1976 earthquake. I have a question. I hope the DepEd and Secretary Benz can give clarification. If the numbers, we consider the numbers that was reported today, there are high percentage of school buildings. I am a Jeddah municipality. I have to hire a structural engineer to inspect our buildings in Calamansig. And one of the findings is that most of the design of the school buildings were designed to withstand typhoon in Luzon, not earthquake in Mindanao. So that's the reason why there is high percentage. Marami po akong building doon na bago pa po, kagagawa lang. Maganda ang pagkagawa. Pero 200 tremors a day will surely crack that. So I would like to ask you, sir, maybe we should look into this because we want to be proactive because anak po namin yung mga nandyan sa school. At if the building were designed to withstand typhoon, we don't have typhoon in Region 12. But we have earthquakes. We have the Cotabato Trench facing. My municipality is in fact facing the Cotabato Trench po. Thank you po.
Thank you. All right. Well, lahat naman ng evacuation center natin, mga schools natin, pati yung mga public buildings natin ay siyempre tinitingnan natin lahat. Nangyari talaga yan dahil nung bagyo. It all started with Yolanda. Kasi yung Yolanda, yung evacuation center, maraming napinsala sa loob ng evacuation center. Kasi evacuation center was rated for about mga 130 kilometers per hour. Nag-300 sila nung Yolanda. Ganon din ngayon sa Lindol. Kailangan talaga natin tignan na how ang problema sa ganon din, hindi natin ma-predict. At least yung bagyo, meron tayong idea. Pagka mga 1 week away, 3 days away, alam na natin kung gaano kalakas. Yung Lindol, di natin alam kung kailan darating at pagka dumating kung gaano kalakas. Kaya we have to prepare for the worst. That's why marami namang mga bagong design na gagayahin natin na pwede natin gamitin dito sa Pilipinas. Some of the best designs are coming out of Japan because madalas sila malindol doon. So we will have a look at the new techniques and materials. Kasi nung una natin ginawa lahat ng mga design na yan, wala pa tayo yung technology na meron tayo ngayon. So we don't have the same material. We did not have the materials that we have now. We did not have the design techniques that we have now. And we are re-examining all of that to make sure that basta't minimal ang damage at magka-damage, yung pwedeng ayusin tapos pwede pang gamitin. Kahit na yung poste man lang matira na nakatayo na diretso, pwedeng palitan lahat ng dingding, lahat ng pwede palitan lahat yun. So that's we are very conscious of that, the design, because it really, as I said, nangyari yan dahil sa climate change, dahil sa bagyo, napakalakas. Pero naisip na nga namin, lindol, ganun din eh. So kailangan na natin tignan na mabuti. All right, anything else that anybody would like to bring up? Yes?
Mr. President, magandang hapon po. Mayor po ng Municipality of Balut Island, yung island po ng Southern Mindanao. Una po, Mr. President, thank you po sa tulong ng DSWD, ISOD, kay Yusek Cabreros. So yung municipality po namin, 1978 po, tatay po ng delayed President Marcos po ang nag-create po ng Municipality of Sarangani. Kami po yung talagang tinamaan na pumunta po yung PHIVOLCS doon 2 days ago na magnitude po talaga is 8.1. Now, sir, Mr. President po, yung passage po ng economic namin, devastated po yung dalawang port, the Port of Balangunan and the Port of Balut. So, yun lang po ang passage namin economically. So, nahirapan po kami, Mr. President, pag we use boats from Balut Island to General Santos City. Lalo na po pag mas sira yung panahon. Hingi po kami ng tulong, Mr. President, na mapadali po ng agarang repair po ng bago pong gawa ng Port of Balangunan. Nasira po lahat. And also the Port of Mabila in Balut Island po. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Yeah, Rick Manuel. O sige, ano namin sa, dadali namin sa PPA at saka sa transport. Oo. Pero we are aware, alam namin lahat ng damage na nangyari dito. Oo. Yes.
Mr. President, Mayor John Sumbo po of Malapatan yung pinuntahan natin kanina. Sir Benz, yung bridge kanina na pinuntahan natin ni Mr. President, yung next na bridge yan, may lake doon sa taas na actually, almost 250 families na sa evacuation ngayon because of that lake. Kasi yung dalawang ilog doon talagang nagbara. Now, once na hindi madali na matawag niyan, mabuwang yung tubig, possible affected na naman yung boundary namin ng Glan, yung bridge doon, yung isang bridge doon. So, kung pwede as soon as possible, yung sinabi mo kayo, narinig ko, baka pwede natin yun, anong gawin yan? Blast, oh. Kasi hindi nga makapasok yung mga equipment because of yung roads, hindi accessible. Kaya bumalik yung mga armed forces natin, yung mga engineers natin, kasi nahirapan sila puntahan. So once na yung tubig, possible yung boundary namin ng Glan, yung next na bridge, doon daan ang tubig, possible masira na rin.
Alright.
So yun ang unahin natin
All right. We'll just that will be, I guess, in the phase 2 part.
Sitwasyon ng mga ganyang katataas.
Yeah. I saw them from the helicopter. Mahirap talaga. Okay. Maraming salamat. Yes. Yeah, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. President, foremost, I would like to thank you for sending help sa Zamboanga City. But I would like to ask help for the future kasi wala po kami may evacuation center. And even in Congress, if you remember, Secretary, I was fighting for the evacuation center. Wala talaga. So, sa mga high grounds, wala po kami. During the last evacuation po, kung saan lang po natutulog yung mga tao sa sementeryo, sa ilalim ng puno, sa highlands kasi wala po si Zamboanga. And it's my first time to become a mayor. Our funding is not sufficient enough. If I would like to ask kung pwede sa District 2 of our city kasi nandun po talaga yung opposite na city kaya municipality mayor, yung Calamansig. So kapag yung epicenter nandun, apektado rin yung east coast of Zamboanga City. So kaya sa east coast lang, kahit 3 or 4 evacuation center.
Bakit wala kayong evacuation center?
Sir,
parang pinakaunang lugar sa buong Pilipinas na napuntahan ko na walang evacuation center.
We don't have, sir. So far, meron lang kami covered court. Meron kaming evacuation center sa west coast naman of the city but is for pandemic use purpose. That was constructed long way back.
Yung mga kapwa mo mayor, meron maraming sinasabi dito.
Ano, sir?
Sige lang, keep going.
That was constructed long way back, hindi pa ako mayor. Councilor pa po ako nung nangyari doon. So yung East Coast, ang walang-wala po kami. Kaya nga, sabi ko, I'm asking the help from the national if you can help us. Even 30 million to 50 million. With the OCD. Kuya Harold, pwede na.
OCD will assess. Oo. sige. Pero hindi na natin
Thank you,
pwede makuha
thank you, sir.
Hindi na sa QRF yan. Iba na yan. That's all good. Yeah, but it's the only LGU I heard of that has no evacuation center. Anyway, all right. O sige. Okay. I think at least narinig nyo na ang gagawin ng national government. Kami naman ay nakinig sa inyo kung ano yung mga pangangailangan ninyo. Asahan ninyo, tuloy-tuloy lang ito. Hindi kami aalis hanggat hindi na kami kailangan. Hanggat kailangan pa kami rito, we will stay here and we will continue to provide assistance to everyone. All right. Maraming salamat. Good luck sa atin lahat. At saka kagaya na sabi ko, hindi lang ngayon to. You get everybody's telephone number at saka tawagan mo sila na tawagan ako naman doon. Just call us to tell us what else na kung ano pang pangangailangan.